Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the court battle continues following what some are calling a controversial state redistricting plan, and a major automaker is adding hundreds of jobs across the country, even a large number of jobs right here in the Commonwealth.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. It's Friday, or you know what I'm going to start calling it, Brandon? I'm going to start calling it Saturday Eve. Yes, I am. Yes, because you have your Friday Eve. Yes.
No.
Yes, it's something new, and I'm going to workshop it for you. Until someone complains, then I'll stop. But if you complain, I'm just going to keep doing it.
Oh, that's okay. I won't complain then.
Okay.
Maybe you'll stop doing it.
Maybe.
Anyway, let's get into the weather forecast because it is going to be an active weekend with both a little bit of precipitation, some colder air coming into play, and maybe a few snowflakes flying as we head into tomorrow morning. Yes, I said snowflakes. Anyway, this morning, as we go through the last few hours, you can see the rain is moving through there. Not quite cold enough just yet in most areas. Now, if it gets down into the Cumberland Valley, then we might have a little bit of an issue because it's below freezing in places like Jonesville and parts of eastern Kentucky this morning. So we're looking at US 119, US 23 over at Jenkins. All quiet over there. 30 in Jonesville, 33 in Middlesboro, 34 in Wise, 35 in Harlan. So if you get over that way, Clintwood also at 33. Could turn into a little bit of snow this morning. We're hopefully getting those temperatures up quite quickly there. There's no clouds down that way. That's why I think they're seeing the cooler temperatures there this morning. No blanket, no way to hold in any heat from the day before. 50 this afternoon if we're lucky. Chances for rain throughout the day and colder as we head into the nighttime hours. Some chances for snow will mix in late. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, we now know the identity of the two victims who were killed in a crash involving a tractor trailer Wednesday in Letcher County. Well, those two victims were 70-year-old Jackie Lawson and 52-year-old Stuart Horn, both of Elkhorn. The crash happened on US 119 in the Ola community around 8 a.m. when a tractor trailer carrying lumber, the truck flipped over on its top when going around a curve. Well, one person is dead following a single car crash in Martin County. An official with the Martin County Sheriff's Office says the crash happened around 3 a.m. near Inez. It was on Kentucky Route 40, also known as Backlog Road. Deputies say the driver, Jamie Porter, hit a tree and was later pronounced dead at Highlands ARH Regional Medical Center. Governor Andy Beshear is calling on lawmakers to pass legislation that would legalize medical marijuana here in the Commonwealth. Chad Hedrick talked to one mom who would like to see the governor issue an executive order, something the governor said he would explore doing.
It is time for the legislature to pass medical marijuana.
A stern call from Governor Beshear Thursday over legislation with popular support.
I mean, we have people that are sick, that are suffering, cancer patients, epilepsy.
Julie Cantwell has been fighting for legislation like House Bill 136 for several years. It's personal for her. Growing up, her son Preston suffered from hundreds of seizures a day, finding relief in medical cannabis that he has to drive 5 hours for.
They've got this all wrong if they think that we're trying to push for recreational, because we're not. We're just moms that want to help our kids. We're wives that want to help our husband.
Senate President Robert Stiver says it's not that he's against it, adding he believes there are benefits to medical marijuana.
There are statistically significant indicators that there have been from the studies that it shows decreased spasticity problems, which is seizures.
However, Stiver says sample sizes are too small, and separate legislation would support a Kentucky-based study of benefits.
And then that would give us the impetus to come back maybe within a year and say this is what marijuana could be used for or not be used for.
Governor Beshear saying if that is the key to passing the bill, he supports getting the study done.
If it's research that is the claim that's holding it up, maybe this administration can get that done.
The studies are there. We don't need to explore any more options. We don't need any more studies. It's time to help patients now.
Chad Hedrick, WYMT Mountain News.
Meanwhile, Governor Andy Beshear recently vetoed House Bill 9, the controversial charter school funding bill, and Senate Bills 1 and 83. The governor says he's still reviewing House Bill 3, which bans abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. He noted he had concerns about incest and rape victims, Well, Senate President Robert Stivers told reporters that lawmakers plan to override Beshear's vetoes of Senate Bills 1 and 83, but will reserve judgment on any new vetoes. Also in Frankfort, arguments continued Thursday in a Franklin County courtroom over new legislative and congressional district maps. The General Assembly approved the new districts for state and U.S. House seats earlier this year. Now the Democratic Party sued, saying Republicans were choosing their voters. Well, there is no set date on when Judge Thomas Wingate will issue a decision on the redistricting trial. Boyd County continues to honor a fallen hero. The city of Catlettsburg, where Marine Corporal Jacob Moore was from, put up banners to honor him. Moore and 3 other Marines were killed in a NATO training exercise in Norway. He was laid to rest Monday. Governor Andy Beshear ordered flags at all state buildings to be lowered to have staff from sunrise to sunset Thursday in honor of Navy Fireman 2nd Class Hal J. Allison of Paducah. He died in the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941, but his remains were not identified until last year. Fireman Allison will be interred at the Maple Lawn Park Cemetery in Paducah later today. Toyota is adding hundreds of new jobs across North America. Company officials say the move is to boost engineering support as production continues to trend toward more electric vehicles. Toyota is adding 220 new positions in its engineering department because the headquarters for production engineering, well, that's in Georgetown. Many of those jobs will be located there. Last year, Toyota announced new investments totaling more than $5 billion for electrical vehicle production. The Public Service Commission is now deciding whether to approve the sale of Kentucky Power. Liberty Utilities is trying to buy the company in a $2.8 billion deal. Liberty has promised to decrease customer bills by about 15%. After the sale is complete, well, some state officials, including members of the Mountain Caucus and Attorney General Daniel Cameron, say, well, they doubt that is possible. But the Lexington Herald Leader reports other local officials like Pike County Judge Executive Ray Jones and outgoing One East Kentucky CEO Chuck Sexton have come out in support of the move. Switching gears here, Dr. Stephen Stack updated the Commonwealth on the state of COVID on Thursday. Well, the news is good. Almost the entire state of Kentucky is in the green on a new map that tracks hospital capacity and COVID transmission. Well, during the news conference, Dr. Stack said something many people have been waiting to hear for 2 years.
It is okay, though, and this is important. There's another side to this. It's okay for folks to be out in public now in green counties, of which we had 116 on that screen a minute ago. It is okay to be in places with other people without masks.
He went on to say you should be respectful to those who do mask up. They may be immunocompromised or may be protecting a family member. Cumberland Falls State Resort Park had some help with cleanup Thursday morning. Members of AmeriCorps National Civilian Community Corps took to the shores of the park, clearing the path for other tourists. The group's mission is all about preserving trails and making areas safe for visitors. Team leader Christian Odom says it was a pleasure to help.
So to have volunteers like myself and my team and dozens of others around the states, it's more manpower for both state parks and other organizations to really get the work they need done.
Well, he says 9 other volunteers joined him for the cleanup. Officials with Hazard Community and Technical College were excited to bring back an old event on Thursday. The Evening with Poets series made its return to the college after several years. Kentucky's poet laureate Crystal Wilkinson is a professor with UK. She met with students and faculty for a reading and discussion of her work.
And it's just simply wonderful. I've loved talking to high school students today, talking to college students, and then having this community event tonight. It's been great to be back in Hazard again. It's been a long time since I've been here.
Well, the Evening with Poets series has featured legendary Kentucky poets in the past, and well, college staff hope to fully revive the tradition.
6:41 here on this Friday morning. We're still tracking some moisture out there. It's mainly in our western counties, and it's kind of scattered this morning, but be aware of that. Some heavier bands moving through parts of Wolfe County now, going back over toward Morgan County. So be aware of that up that way this morning. We're looking at temperatures still falling. Hopefully that moisture doesn't get into those southern counties like Jonesville, Middlesboro, and Harlan, because they're right there on the cusp, Clintwood as well, of freezing. So again, we're going to continue to see that. Jonesville is below freezing this morning. Most of us in the upper 30s and low 40s. Breakfast forecast, we are going to be seeing, again, temperatures slowly climbing across the region today. May not make it to our forecast high of 50, but I think most of us will get pretty close. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. When we come back here on Mountain News this morning, history was made on Thursday as lawmakers confirmed a new justice for the Supreme Court. Stay with us.